How's it? Today is Monday, October 17th, and I am increasing from last week for I don't even know what week this is. So I was 89 today for snatch push press complex thing. So that's I started at 80, so 8369. This is week 4. Power snatch, hang power snatch going up to 79. Some of them were definitely not powers, but I did my best. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to continue this for next week. Whatever the case is, I think that um, I'm getting better overall. I don't think that these sets here are challenging at all as far as the complex goes for this. I think that when I move into ranges that are closer to 100, then perhaps these snatch balances will be a little bit more difficult. As it stands, when I push here, I feel very strong, and I feel like I'm just able to get my arms straight and kind of lock it overhead very stably. Um, it might not be that case with little heavier weights, but as it is, it's just I don't even have to think about it too much. I think more about my hair um, getting smashed and being pulled down, which is probably not great as far as training goes. But like even that right there, that snatch balance where I misgrooved it, I'm still able to just not even save it. It's just like force myself into the proper position to make sure that I don't drop it. Um, yeah. So after my push press, this is the top set by the way. After my push press, I moved into my muscle snatches. It has been brought to my attention that apparently I'm not doing muscle snatches classically. Um, it's more of a muscle no contact snatch, which I guess is true. But for the purposes of what Steve wants me to do, it's completely fine either way. I actually don't know if I know how to do a muscle snatch without muscle snatch with making contact. Um, as always here on the snatch push press complex, I end up going on the last set to push set the reps. Do 3 extra snatch balances. I am unable to do that for the power snatch complex. That should be way too hard. So just forewarning as far as how that works and how that looks. I think that sometimes if I'm able to keep the bar in the correct spot as far as my upper body goes, then the rest of the snatch becomes very easy. So you can see how I'm trying to do a contact quote unquote muscle snatch. That first rep was not it. So whatever, whatever. See, this is a lot easier for me to just go get a lot of speed here and then um, just kind of wedge myself under at some point. Um, yeah, as far as the upper body position correctedness, co- correctedness, upper body. What am I trying to say? As far as the positions that I need to hit in order for me to be correct, I think that I am still having a little bit too much um, hips back immediately off of the ground. It doesn't really matter on the power from the ground, but it definitely does fruit its head. Fruit its head? Why am I saying all these weird ass things? It definitely does show up on the hang lifts. And even if it did show up on the one from the ground, I think that I have enough speed accelerating from the ground to overhead for it to work out okay. And I'm actively working to fix that, but it's kind of hard sometimes. Yeah, you can see there from the ground, my hips kind of go, they don't go straight up and down, they go a little bit back before they go up and down. So there are a variety of things I can do to fix that, but in practice, it's a lot harder than what I'm just thinking of, right? A little bit better on that one, to be honest. Yeah, this set's actually pretty good. I think this is my last warm up set because I don't like to do warm up in between 70 and 79 because I think it's a little excessive. Because 75 would be my warm up in between that, which would be hard um, as a warm up. So pretty good on that second rep. A little bit out front. Of course, the receiving position was out front, but that extension was a little bit too far forward. And then one of my questionable powers. Yeah, I think one thing that I'm thinking about for my pulls after this, my snatch high pulls, that actually helps with my positioning for the pulls is just keeping my chest up as high as I can. Like that's all I think about, and then my arms end up fixing. Definitely not a power there. My arms end up fixing itself into the correct position. And then here's my last set. Again, this last power on the hang is questionable at best. But I think if I am able to kind of carry over that mentality of keeping my chest up from the ground and then keeping my chest up for the hangs, I think these should actually get a little bit easier because the second reps on a lot of these are actually pretty good, but as I get more and more tired, it doesn't help. So here we go. So if I have my chest up right there, what ends up happening is my lower back is in a more extended position, and then that puts me center of gravity wise further over the bar, and that's the goal that I'm trying to do. What ended up happening before in the past when I used to lift like that, where I would try to focus too much on my chest, is the chest would be in the correct position, but my lower back and my hips would still be like behind the bar, and I don't know, like, I mean obviously they are behind the bar, but I mean like they are not, they're too far back, is I guess how I should say it. The center of gravity is just too far back. Whereas right now, like you can see when I pick up off the ground, if my lower back is extended, then my hips are a little bit above my knees here. And like all of these things are relative to my body positioning, right? But it's a lot better to have an extended lower back than it is to have a flexed lower back, which is a curled lower back, you know, like Snap City type shit. But I have yet to put both the pull and the snatch together on this training block. Like I've definitely done it in the past. I'm just not been successful with it for the last 4 weeks on this, in my opinion. We're thinking specifically about the snatch complex that I have failed to hit really for today. After that, some pause front squats up to 109. Last set, of course, I'm trying to push the reps. I did not push the reps on the snatch high pull on that last set because I completely forgot. But I think, like, even if you go back and look at it, had I done a fourth rep, like, what level of quality of that rep would that be? Probably not very good. So, you know, unknowingly, I made the smart decision for the first time in my whole life because I don't usually make smart decisions. But yeah, pause front squat, just 109, which is again 9 kilos above where I started. And then I do this one. I think I do 5, might be 6. Let's count 1, 2, 3. I think the positioning is actually pretty good, considering where this is in the workout. That's 4. This is 5. So I do 6. Wow, look at me go. Again, this is after I do everything, so pretty good. I finished off with just my hanging leg raises for some core work. But yeah, today's done. That's it. Thank you for watching. Shoots.